Welcome to Life Coaches Unfiltered, where Desiree, Dory, and Michelle, three life coaches, are here to answer the questions you have, but we're afraid to ask. No fluff, no filters, just real talk to help you navigate life's big challenges. Let's dive in.
To another episode of Life Coaches Unfiltered. Today we're going to be Mythbusters. We're going to talk about myths around life coaching and life coaches. So you probably you might have heard about life coaching. We've been talking about it for a couple episodes, and you might think life coaches are just unlicensed therapists, glorified cheerleaders, maybe friends that you pay to just gas you up. Or maybe you just have only seen life coaches as these 20 somethings living in a resort in Bali and charging thousands of dollars for their packages. So, what is the truth? Michelle's like, that's me.
I'm doing it wrong.
I know, right? We're all doing it wrong.
So, today we are going to we're going to uncover some of those myths, and we are going to tell you what the truth is. Because, always the truth lies somewhere in between what you see on social media and, and then the horrible things that you hear. Um, in conversation. So we're going to be doing myth busting on life coaches and life coaching. So if you're a coach curious, but you're also a little bit skeptical, this is your episode. So, guys, what is the number one life coach myth life coaching myth that you want to dispel? What's the one that y'all hear all the time?
We're like therapists,
Okay.
or it's woo woo.
I've heard like everybody's a life coach. Everybody
Yeah.
There
thinks
is
they're a
that
life
too.
coach.
Yes.
I,
Um,
I think that they're all the same as well. That, you stick a life coach tag on it and that everybody does the same thing in the same way and the same, and it's not true.
So
mhm.
what do y'all want to dig into first?
Woo woo.
You want to talk about woo? I actually said in a coaching session, embrace the woo. Anyway, that coaches are woo woo. I
Yeah.
think that
Let's
there's
let's
Yeah,
start there for sure.
okay.
Yeah, let's start there.
Let's jump into the deep end of the woo pool.
the woo
Um
pool.
that sounds terrible. That does not sound good. Okay. Um, so what do you guys, I think what I love about coaching, what coaching did for me is it married the woo. Like I would go to yoga classes or I'd go to these mindfulness or just, self-improvement stuff. And they would be like, well, they would say things and I was like, that doesn't track. Like, tell me the science behind it, prove it, right? So, what I love about a lot of the modalities that I've studied is it marries the woo and the science. And so, there are coaches that are more woo, but there are coaches that focus on a specific belief system. There are
Mhm.
coaches that don't focus on any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the type of person that you are. If you are more spiritually grounded, guided, however you want to say it, I think, maybe having a woo-woo life coach would work for you. Or you could have a mixture of both.
Hmm.
But we're not all the same. As Dory said, we're not all the same. Me personally, I'm not woo woo with my clients because they are young adults. They may not understand the woo woo as yet. But I know that there are some people, adults, who love that. And you should look for a coach that kind of, again, as you said, Desiree, kind of matches your values and your outlook on things. But I'm not woo woo, just putting it out there.
And I'm a mix. So, I mean, this is how you get like research and find the right coach for you. I'm a mix. I don't bring my woo to the table right away. I kind of research and or when I'm working with a client in that first session, just kind of analyzing where they're at in their own world and their own mindset. I'm definitely not going to put my beliefs on that particular subject. I'm not going to put that on someone else. So, but if they're down with it, I'm absolutely ready to explore some of that with them. But yeah, for the most part, I think that the woo aspect of coaching is just not. Michelle, I will say, I can vouch for that. You use tools and techniques that are not involved with like the ethereal realm, and for me, I do bring a little bit of that, but that doesn't mean what I do is woo. There's a big difference. I have spiritual principles and beliefs that I believe in that I like to bring in if people are interested, but that doesn't mean like the tools and techniques I use, specifically hypnotherapy, is not woo. So it is based in science and it's based around neuroplasticity. I mean, there's so many things that people I think get very confused about and they think it's fluff and bullshit. And it is not fluff and bullshit. It's where the rubber meets the road. And if you want changes where it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day I was walking my
Yes.
dog. Michelle's cheering us on. Oh my God. Um, yes. So the other day I was walking the dog and I was like, it never made sense to me. I was not a sports ball person as a kid. I don't know. I didn't grow up in a sports ball family. We just didn't. I tried. I sucked at it, right? Or maybe I sucked at it, or maybe I just went to schools that didn't have, I don't know, whatever. But I didn't understand why people were so insistent on their kids being in competitive sports. And now as a coach, I get it because in competitive sports, you have a lot of mindset work.
Mm-hmm.
You're constantly challenging yourself to grow and improve. And that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what life coaches are. We just have a different venue.
Yeah.
And so you also have to find, we talked about this in an earlier episode, somebody who speaks to the language that you identify with and maybe has the people that have also helped me the most are people that have had similar experiences or similar belief systems. So I don't, like Dory said, she doesn't go in right in with the woo at first. I don't either, because I coaching is all about meeting your client where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not wooey and I come and we're lighting incense and I'm making them meditate, they're going to be like, I don't like this lady, you know? And then it's not going to serve them. And then it's not about them, it's about me. And that's exactly the opposite of what a coach should be. Okay, I'm going
Mm.
to step off my soapbox now.
I love that analogy that you did because I was the person who played tons of sports. Now, granted, I didn't do it in the US, I did it in the UK, but you're right. You continually practice to improve and to get better and to win games. And that was such a great kind of analogy. I was just like, wow, yeah, that's pretty much good in a nutshell to me. Um, so thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. I mean, listen, that analogy comes from the being on the struggle bus of trying to explain to people what the hell I do. Because everybody
Yeah.
would be like, what is a life coach? And I'm like, how do I explain this to them? Right. And so, yeah, thanks for my dog for getting me out of the house and out of my head. And
Hmm.
yeah, sometimes that's where we have our best ideas. And there's science behind that. Okay, we're not going to get into that. Are we done? Are we done with the woo woo myth? Do we want to move on to another one? We're not all the same. Dory.
No, we're
Yeah.
not.
We're not. I mean, we just talked about that a little bit, right? Is that we have different areas of specialty. Like Michelle works with young adults. I work with young adults, but one of my other specialties that I'm starting to focus on more is I work with men and help men to work with their own emotions and being able to process them and learning it's okay to have them. That's one of my, favorite clients is helping them to explore that and to learn more about it so that they can relate better to other people, especially if they're in leadership roles, being able to do that and be able to relate more in that type of thing. So you see two different aspects of things. Um, And then Desiree, yours with grief and divorce and all of those, it's so different. And we're different people too. I mean, I I just want to go back to the cheerleading thing too. I'm here to encourage, but I'm not here to do it for you. And so, I'm not like the pageant mom that's sitting over there that's, doing the dances. Maybe I would do the dances with you, but I'm not going to be the one that's like doing it for you. That's where where clients have to like step up to the plate and be ready to do whatever it is that we're asking them to do, right? So, yeah, we're not all the same. We all have different personalities. I tend to be, I tend to be like I don't know, I'm different than, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. I'm different than Michelle, who's different than Desiree, and on all the other coaches. There's something different about everybody because we are all unique anyway. So, and we all have different backgrounds and perspectives that we bring to the table.
Yeah.
I mean, look
Sorry,
at
was that
Michelle.
we?
She's a Brit. Like biscuits are not biscuits to her. If that resonates with you, and sprinkles are called hundreds and thousands.
You're
And she
so
drinks.
funny.
Anyway,
Tea,
I was
and
gonna
I
make
drink
fun of you.
tea.
You drink
It,
tea, but that's
and I drink
okay.
tea.
That's not so bad. I know a lot of
I
non-British
know,
people who drink tea.
but I think it's
I
funny because I'm writing. In fact, I'm writing a post on my LinkedIn for today, and it's just so funny that we're talking about it because I ask my clients, I'm like, "Do you know any British people? Like, before I start working with them, do you know any British people?" Oh, Gordon Ramsay. I am not Gordon Ramsay. I
listen.
am.
You
That's
want to trade
awesome.
places and be in Cajun? Like people think that I'm either the swamp people or or that like wannabe Cajun chef from like PBS in the 80s, Justin Wilson. I
Oh, okay.
guarantee. I'm like, we don't talk like that. So
So,
I don't
that's
know.
my reference point. If that's my reference point, I'm kind of like, well, I'm a little bit nicer than Gordon
Yeah.
Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay's a little
Just a
intimidating.
tad, just a tad, just a tad. Yeah,
You could be compared to the Queen of England. I mean, she's dead, but
I
she's
know.
still a regal person,
She is.
the royal
Yes, I
family.
could. I could. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, the other thing is the way that we differ is in tools that we use and in approach, the frameworks that we use with our clients.
Yeah.
Like I went to a coach training school that is based on energy levels. Well, somebody might just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And that just sounds weird and just shut down. Like, just be like, I don't identify
Mm.
with it. Right. So, but other people would be like, oh, yeah, that really makes sense to me. So,
Mm.
look at personality, look at kind of area focus and what frameworks and tools might come up in coaching. And I mean, I'll vary it based on, if somebody's not really into the whole energy thing, we don't have to talk about it. They don't have to know what's behind the science of some of the tools that I'm using, right?
Yeah.
Not that I want to hide it, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
it,
that's the thing too, is that I think that, there is no like mystery of what we like do. There's no like, I think that that's also kind of like the thing is that people think it's like this just, I don't know, this club that you come into and, we're like, we're not going to share with you what we do, what we know. That's one of my favorite parts of being a coach is teaching and teaching people about what I do and why I do, how I do what I do as well. I mean, I'm going to tell you we're going to do this, and this is why we're doing this, and this is how we do this, and that sort of thing. So I think that that's part of it as well.
so there's no like secret club initiation that we go through as life coaches that we can't ever talk about.
Right, like handling snakes.
Mm.
My God.
Reptiles would be a hard no for me. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No
What are we
reptiles.
doing? What are we doing? This is hilarious. I
Anyway,
also I also think And let's go to a myth buster that people think, well, depending on who you choose, that it's really expensive. Now,
Mm,
I've had that told to me that I'm expensive, but in the scheme of things, if you just for my clients, if you think about how much money you have spent for your child from the day that they were born until they're a teen, going to graduate from high school, or if they're in their 20s and you're still giving them money. You think about how much money a parent has probably spent. It could probably be half a million, a million, depending on how much money you have in your bank account and everything, and how much you earn. And then it's kind of like, well, you're going to charge this much. This is a lot of money. But in the scheme of things, you want your kid to be successful. You don't want them to be homeless. You want them to be independent, and you want to get them out of your house. Those are all the things that things that parents would like, and that's gonna cost money, but it's not going to cost $500,000 because I don't. If I could charge $500,000, that would be great, but I don't.
You might be able to
I
charge
don't.
it. People might not pay it.
Well, there is that. There
Those
is
are
that.
two different things.
There is that. There is that. So I feel that there needs to be. I'm not saying people need to get a realistic kind of vision, or maybe I am, but in a nicer way, not the Gordon Ramsay way. But I think people need to just put it into context. If you've been struggling with something or someone, it's going to cost you, even if you have to go to therapy. Some therapists don't take insurance, so you're paying out of pocket. Some, you can use your insurance, whatever. But whatever needs to happen, and we have to pay for it. And
yes.
you have to kind of balance it out in the scheme of things, with regards to, I'm going to continue paying for this person, or this person is still going to be on my payroll if I don't take action to get them off my payroll. And yes, I'm going to have to spend money, but eventually I'm going to be able to save money and put it in my retirement account, because that's pretty much where parents are thinking about, like, this could be my retirement money that I'm
Yeah.
spending on this kid.
Yeah. I, I so there's this thing with cost, right? And I look at it this way too, is like there's the cost of doing business with someone like me that you're paying for, and then there's the cost of not doing it as
Mm-hmm.
well. And I think a lot of people, s- helping people quit smoking, probably not my favorite thing. I'm going to be fully honest. And when we talk about some hypnotherapy stuff, probably not one of my favorite things to do. But there's a cost to not doing it. There's a cost of like people don't think about, and smoking is just an easier one because there's a hard fact around how much they're paying for cigarettes, how much they're paying for their health. There's so many different things about that people, when they get sticker shock about like, oh, it costs this much to work with you. What's the cost of that? I had someone reach out recently for fear of flying. I do like working with people with fear of flying. I really do. Um, and my response was, well, oh, I think people are used to still, even though I don't know how, because I went to the dermatologist the other day and it was $500 because I was, had my deductible to meet. So there was sticker shock, right? But people still are in the mindset of insurance and co-pays, those $25 co-pays, which by the way, if you have one like that, good for you. Those don't exist really that much anymore, I don't think. And I'm not an insurance expert. So, Drew, if you're out there, I apologize. I'm not an expert on insurance. But I think that that's one of the big misconceptions is that people think that they're going to be able to come in, use their insurance or pay insurance prices. And my response to this is, do you like, and again, I'm not knocking the work of cognitive behavioral therapists. Everything has a time and a place and it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I still have a therapist myself, and I love her. Love, love, love her. However, this is a different type of work where I feel like when I started working with my life coach that I needed for myself, and that time I chose to go with a life coach because I needed someone to kick me in the ass. I didn't need to ruminate over what got me there and all that stuff. I needed to move forward, and damn if she didn't do it. Like, I mean, it was, and I had sticker shock too from my own experience. Like when she said it's going to be this amount for to work with me, and it was, it was thousands of dollars, and I went, and she said, "That's my price." And I just went in faith, and I said, "Okay, let's do this." And I did it, and I do not regret it one bit. It changed who I was, and I saw like actual things. So I think, sorry, I'm on my soapbox about this because it's just recent that this happened, and it was, but I had to draw a hard line and say, I work on payment plans. I do things like that. I'll work with people on payment plans and things like that. But my price is my price because I have brought all of this experience that I have and all of the training that I have and all those things, and I condense it down to someone and I deliver it. And I deliver it in a short time frame. So if you want to go on a flight to Italy and you've been scared to do it, and you're ready to do it and you're ready to start living your life, then it's worth it to be able to finally go on a trip that you've been dying to go on for your entire life, but you've been afraid to get on a plane. What's the cost of not
Mm-hmm.
doing that? The
Of
cost
not
is
doing
you stay not living your dreams.
it.
Boom. So
Boom.
One of the
Drop
other
the
things,
mic.
Dory, Dory just had her TED Talk.
sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to Dory's TED Talk.
So sorry.
It's okay. I hope you get my sense of humor. I'm not trying to be a snarky bee.
No, no. You know what's funny, Desiree, is people sometimes have a hard time distinguishing when they're listening to us on Spotify or one of the other audios. They have a hard time distinguishing between you and me, our voices.
I
It
need to,
takes them a while to learn our voices. So maybe
I,
I need to use a different accent.
I need to talk like the swamp people. That would fix it.
Yes, I should start talking
I
like
just need to start talking like Troy Landry. Um, okay, welcome to my
This is
world.
going to be an interesting episode, I
It
think.
already is, Michelle. It already is. Okay. I mean, is anything not interesting with the three of us? Come on, girl. So, one thing that I
Oh,
want to say, if the people are in the it's too expensive camp, and my dad gave me great advice. He said, "You're never going to regret investing in yourself."
mm,
mhm.
And an investment that you make in yourself. I mean, dude went back to law school with two kids, one of which was a baby and a toddler, and a wife who was dependent on them. And like they had a house. He like picked everybody up and moved them to New Orleans so he could go to law school. Like he did that in his 30s. He couldn't work. He flipped slot machines. Like he figured out a way. He invested in himself, and that enabled him to have a really successful career, right? As a lawyer. So he taught me that from a very young age. Don't ever regret invest. You're never going to regret investing in yourself. And life coaching
Mm,
is an investment in yourself.
yes, it is.
So I will say that, I started going to therapy as a teenager because of some life shit that happened, and the person that caused the life shit put us all in therapy, which was a good move. That's a good move. If you're going to implode your family, everybody goes to therapy, right? Great. Appreciate that. But I wasn't getting the movement that I needed. And so coaching, I mean, we all have therapists. I'm pretty sure most of, if not all of us on this show have therapists. I believe in therapy. It's helped me a lot, but coaching is what helps me put that therapy stuff into action.
Mm,
And is that accountability buddy gives me the tools to uncover the stuff to put into action the changes that I'm identifying that I want to make in therapy. So the two work together. It's kind of like having, fuel to your fire, the proper fuel and the proper structure for your fire to actually burn efficiently. But it's an investment in yourself. You're not going to regret it.
Yeah.
I don't think I regretted when I invested in a life coach. I hands down, she helped me get my shit together. And sometimes you need it because we can get into our even coaches can get into their own heads. And I think you said it there's very many times like coaches need coaches. I right now I've got a coach who's helping me with my business. So, it's and I've got the therapist. So, every it's if people say I don't need help, I'm sorry, you're bullshitting. We all need help. It's just depending on what you want to choose. And I'm totally behind your dad 100%. Like investing yourself is the best money that you can do. Now, obviously, trying to find the right person can be hard because you think someone's going to do something and then they don't. And then you're thinking, I've just wasted thousands of dollars. But again, that's part of life. I know it sounds horrible. You have to kind of do your research, look at the results of what someone has done and to see. And personally, I always go with the coaches who give money back guarantees. Just saying, because if I get to the end product and I see it working, then that's great. But I'm very selective with who I pick because it's just like, I'm paying you this money. I want to see results. But yeah, coaching helped me because I was spiraling and I needed help. And as you said, it does work hand in hand with therapists. And so if any therapists are listening, we love working with therapists.
Yes.
I have
We
a lot
need
of therapy.
you.
There are
Personally, we
therapists.
need you.
Yeah. And
We
a lot of,
need you. We're a good tag team.
yeah, we recommend our clients to therapy
Yes.
and therapists recommend their clients to us. This isn't like we're all it is a team and we have different roles, like just like a soccer team. We got FIFA going on right now in the country. There's different people. Michelle could explain that because she's better at understanding football, which we call soccer. What do you guys call soccer? Do y'all call it football?
Yeah, we call it football.
Oh,
The real football. The rest of the world call it football, and y'all Americans call it soccer. You're the only country.
really?
Just
Michelle,
saying.
Michelle, you're an American now. Welcome.
What do y'all call like American football?
American football.
That's too many
American
words.
football.
But my football is the rest of the world football. Yes,
Well, it's a big time right now, the rest of the
it
world
is.
in the
It
football.
is. It
It's
is.
been
It
playing in
is.
my house all weekend.
So if you go to a soccer game with Michelle, she'll tell you she's like the referee. And I'm like, I
You're
don't know what
so funny.
offsides means. You have to explain that to me. She explains it like 5 times and she's like, you got it? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm still confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my
See,
God.
coaches need coaches. Coaches
Right?
need coaches to explain.
Girl, you can coach me in soccer all day long. I'm still gonna suck. Right? Oh. Okay. Next we beat that we beat that little topic to death. What about anyone can call themselves a life coach?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that is true. You can get yourself an Instagram account. It's free 99. You can start posting on there that you're a life coach, right? It's not a regulated industry, but there's ways to suss out life coaches.
Yeah.
So
And,
that's
hey, look, and there's some out there that are not like, that's the real deal. I think that a lot of times, we point at people that are not the real deal and they're selling snake oil, right? And for people that don't get that reference, but there there are people that are real deal. I mean, we are, of course, but there are people that that move things forward, and I think that that's one of the things is that but there are a lot of people out there that are not the real deal. They're out there to charge thousands of dollars, and just because they found a system that worked for them, and then they put it into a cookie cutter type thing. I think that for me. That's one, we talked about red flags before. I'm going to bring up a red flag real quick is if anybody tries to shove you into a cookie cutter format and says this is going to work for you, be cautious.
Mm.
But that's because I think that that's one of the things that people do is they find something that works for them and they go, oh, I can monetize on this and I'm gonna like put this system together and I'm gonna use it on everybody. But I think even though Michelle has a system that works really well, she's still, if I come in and I something about one piece, she's gonna individualize it and change something or do something a little bit different and goes, Dory's a crazy person. This is not going to work. So I need to go and figure out like how to tweak and modify this. This word triggers, does Reiki using this word triggers Dory every time I say it. I'm going to use a different word or I'm going to use a different format or something like that.
Yeah, I would say definitely do your research on the person that you're picking and go and look at that if they have a LinkedIn profile and check out what gives them credibility to be the life coach and what their niche is. Because as Dory said, there's lots of people who are just kind of, I'll just say, fabricating themselves as life coaches and charging people thousands of dollars and getting away with it. And that's not me because I've got certifications and we all have certifications. We have coaches, we have therapists. You know? These are all the things. These are all kind of like the flags that you should be looking for. But yeah, do your due diligence, definitely.
And I wanted
And
like what from a life coach myself was someone, that had experienced similar things in life as
mm-hmm,
well. That's part of it too. You can get a certification and not have the experience with it. Like my certification is actually in hypnotherapy. So, that is something that, but I've experienced it too. I've been a hypnotherapy client. I've been, part of it and I've lived the things that, most of my clients will walk through the door and go, oh my gosh, I'm so ashamed I did X, Y, and Z, or I do X, Y, and Z. Going, that's nothing. Have a seat. You're in the right place.
One thing that some life coaches are really great marketers and really crappy coaches. And that sometimes like marketing is a skill. It is
mm-hmm.
a specialized skill. And some people are really gifted marketers. And so it can, they might have a really amazing social media presence, but then when you get into a coaching session, it's like
You're just like, what the
this
fuck?
it feels weird. So yeah, definitely have those discovery calls, before you give somebody some money. All
I
right.
would
And
agree.
another one that I love is that, oh, life coaching is just a fad. It's in its heyday and it's going to go away at some point. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm not going away.
Thank God. I'm so happy about that.
I'm just saying. I don't think it's a fad. I think there was a lot of people who jumped on the bandwagon, and there's a lot of people who jumped off the bandwagon.
Yes.
So I think the people who are getting results, who are helping people, genuinely helping people, are going to stick around. And the people who have like scammed lots of people out of money are going to try and do something else. Just saying. You
Yeah.
may see them doing something else.
I think that people get into the life coaching, like you said, there was a saturation of the market at one point,
Mm-hmm.
especially during COVID when people started doing more things online. There was a saturation. There was a lot of people that were like, I'm a life coach now, or, and all of those things. And then they get into the business side of it. And listen, this is a business. And that was the other thing about charging the money too, right? This is a living. This is something, is it a passion? Absolutely. I didn't use the word Michelle. Um, it is absolutely a passion for us, but it's also a living that we're making. But I think a lot of people get into life coaching and then realize, oh shit, I'm also my marketer. I'm also my accountant. I'm the sales, which a lot of people, especially if you're more on the spiritual like side, sometimes you have a tendency to kind of shy away from going in for the pitch. And
Mm,
so it is all aspects of the business. So I think that in my opinion, it's not going away, but I think you're going to see the people that have like stood firm and the people that have a true belief will still be standing and that the market will be less saturated. That is my prediction. Um, don't mark me down for that, but
Your hypnotherapy degree has could have some psychic abilities.
Uh,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I think that during COVID there we saw a huge uptick in life coaching, right? People were home.
mhm,
They're like, "Oh yeah, I thought I'd get my shit together when I was locked in my house." No, I'm not getting my shit together. And then I think that was a huge kind of uptick, but I think at some point it's going to level out, but coaches have been in existence since way before COVID. I mean, I remember having a coach at a job, I would say in like 2009. And,
mhm,
she was a leadership coach. And so their organizations have been embracing coaching from a professional standpoint. I already talked about the sporting analogy. Coaching is not new, it's
mm,
just entering a new arena. And that is unfamiliar to people. And it takes some time, I think. But once people understand the value of coaching and how the modality works and can help them through some challenging situations or things that they've struggled with their whole lives, then it's going to become more familiar and less kind of like mysterious, if that makes
mm,
sense.
mm.
yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah, that
coaching's
makes
going
sense.
away.
No. I mean, I opened my coaching business during COVID, so I will put my hand up. I was that person because yes, people were at home, and I did start off with coaching women, and it was great. Um, there were some divorces that happened, but that wasn't me telling them to get divorced or anything. So-
Listen, when you're locked in a house and you can't escape,
seriously,
like I was looking
seriously,
at my divorce friends and I was like, how many divorces are going to come out of this
right?
COVID
How many?
lockdown?
Well, you got babies, you got divorces. Those were the two that happened during
We're
COVID.
dogs. We were a dog. We got a dog. We had a dog right before COVID, but that was kind of like that's when she got like a super
Okay.
attached and was like, "You can't ever go anywhere because you're home now, family."
Mm,
Your
yeah.
dog?
So,
Yeah,
Um, the thing that concerned me the most about COVID was the people that were in domestic violence situations
mm,
and an unstable. That was scary because when you're in a situation like that, sometimes being able to leave and go to work is a good thing. And when you can't do that. But yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So we talked a lot about myths. What do you guys want our listeners to know about coaching, real quick?
It works. It works if you put but again, you got to do the work. But it definitely works. And depending on who you have and the tools that they give you, keep using them. Keep using them. You'll definitely grow. You'll have a different mindset. I mean, well, my mindset was in the trash when I was, and this was I think before COVID. But yeah, again, you have to be diligent with who you're trying to find. Because even the life coach that I used, she was in the health and wellness space, so that resonated with me a lot. Um, but you have to find someone that kind of reflects the kind of things that you want to do. But it definitely works. And if it
Yeah,
hasn't worked for you, then you haven't found the right person for you, I
yeah.
would say.
I think also just know that there was an expression that I used when I my senior yearbook, and it We had to get a quote. And I never knew how important this quote was until like I got sober and I heard it again. It's wherever you go, there you are. And that is so key about like you could anything, but it's also the same about coaching. You are the one showing up. You're the one that is going to be, so you're, all I ask for people is meet me halfway. Just meet me halfway. I will help you. That's why I'm there for. I'm not there to do for you. I'm there to be your guide. I'm Julie, your cruise director. And for people that are listening, I have red hair. So I'm Julie, your cruise director, and I'm here to help you, along your journey and be like your support system. And so I think that that's the big thing is just know that you are going to be responsible for showing up and doing whatever we need to do. And if something doesn't work for you or something makes you uncomfortable, that's where, speaking up for yourself too and just saying, "Hey, I don't like that. I don't want one of the things I ask when I'm doing hypnotherapy is someone, did I say something last week as a part of the session that didn't resonate with you or like, didn't, and I usually can tell. But I want them to recollect on that because I don't want to do it again. I'm boring, Michelle.
Oh my
This
gosh.
I'm
is
sorry.
hilarious today. No, this is
Well,
funny. I love y'all.
I
well,
love you
we
too,
love you
Michelle.
too. I love y'all too. One thing that I just want to say is it helped me. I mean, I've already talked about like you're not going to regret investing in yourself. And if you've been in therapy for a while and you're having trouble getting those changes to stick or actually taking action, try
Mm.
coaching. Try getting a coach in addition to your therapist.
Yes, it's
And
going to cost more money, but it's an investment.
yeah.
Mhm.
And in the last episode we talked about some other ways that you can try to defray the cost. Like there's certain some places have a wellness program that you can use those dollars for coaching, or they might have an EAP program. And you can try out some coaching that way. There's ways that you may be able to access coaching, maybe do a group coaching program instead of individual coaching. Like
Mm.
there are other options aside from working one-on-one with a coach. Um, because that's going to most likely be your most expensive option. So
Mm.
don't slam the door before you even try to unlock it. All
Mm.
right,
Are we ready
Michelle.
for the uncomfortable question? All
Yes.
right. Okay. If a coach told you something that challenged your favorite coping mechanism, so the overworking, overgiving, numbing, would you call them toxic or consider they might be right? Yikes. Ooh.
Mm.
Hmm.
I mean,
I
I
think
think
for
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Desiree. Desiree, you go first. I always like to blah, blah. You go first.
If you're not willing to take a look at it, that is a symptom that there's a problem more than you that yeah. Like why are you so tied to that belief? So I might not feel comfortable about it, but I think that I've done enough work to realize that if they're saying something about it and I'm having this resistance come up for me, there's probably more shit I need to uncover. I need to go on the archaeological dig and figure out what bones might be lying. Like, what do I need to put together? What's my little T-Rex saying? Right? I'm gonna unearth. Yeah. I mean, I might be pissed off, but I don't think I'm gonna how they say it, like they're like if they come at me and they're mean about it and they're like that is more of a sign of toxic behavior. But I don't think I would have even gotten into a coaching relationship with somebody who's going to behave like that. But just the fact that they bring it up, no.
Mm. I actually had a coach once that I hired. It was a health coach. And she like came at me one time and was like, your problem is that you are doing way too much for everybody else and not doing it for yourself, doing anything for yourself. lovely sentiment, true, but I was offended. And and this is just a springboard, Desiree, off the way you said it. It was the way she said it. And it totally, at that moment, it shut the door on our relationship 100%. But I've had another one that says, maybe you're a people pleaser. Maybe this is something that we need to really investigate and look at. And I was more open to hear that because she was like, do you do this? Do you do this? It was not an accusatory, it was more of a asking questions where I could identify it with myself. And that's a sign of a good coach, where they like open enough questions where you can like start looking inside yourself and you are the one that answers the question. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Michelle.
want a know-it-all coach who just throws accusations my way. That's not a coach. That's a bossy.
It's Gordon
Nah.
Ramsay.
Dory, Dory just brings it right back. All right, Michelle, with that,
Oh my God, that is hilarious. I'm so sorry. You know what? I'd probably question what they would say or what they're saying and really have to sit with it. But I'm kind of with you, though. If it makes me question it, then I'll probably entertain it. But then if they say it in a condescending manner, then I'll be like, who the fuck are you talking to me like that? That would just be me. But if they're asking the question, just like you said, Dory, they're exploring more questions, and then I can explore. Yeah, well, maybe I am doing that. Then that's a good way. But that was a hard question for me because I'm like, they could be bluffing, they could be talking bullshit, but then I would probably question it. But then it depends on how they ask me. So
can I summarize what I think we all just said?
yeah.
Please.
Coaches that come to sessions and client work from an attitude or perspective of curiosity versus judgment makes a difference in how your clients perceive you.
I just got
Very
chills, Des.
nice. Very
Thank you for
nice.
coming to my TED Talk. Y'all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's got quotes? Who's got quotes?
Hmm.
I'll go.
Uh, Okay.
Coaching doesn't make sick people well. It helps healthy people become extraordinary. And that's often
Hmm.
attributed to Thomas Leonard. I love that.
Yeah. That's a good one. All right. So mine is a coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you have always known you could be. And that's Tom Landry.
I like
Oh.
that.
Hmm.
Desi?
Um, hmm. As coaches, we equip people to be in touch with their best selves. Julie Parker. I love that because I think that that's what coaching is, right? Helping you uncover and realize your potential.
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, hopefully, what we covered in this episode is bringing you some clarity about coaching. We've got two other previous episodes where we talked about coaching topics. We talked about how to suss out life coaches, like when you're trying to choose one, and how to be coachable so that you'll get more out of coaching. So those are the two previous episodes. If this resonated with you, you might enjoy those episodes. And then Dory, what are we talking about next time?
Me, 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 me. Joking. Since we're on the topic of misconceptions, I'm so, ladies, thank you so much for allowing me to for us to talk about this next week or next episode. And that's misconceptions around hypnotherapy. There's so many different misconceptions. I promise by the end of the episode, everyone will be clucking like a chicken.
I was gonna say, Dory's gonna tell you why she can't make you cluck like a chicken.
Mhm. The
That's
woman that taught
hilarious.
me said we can't make you cluck like I can make you cluck like a chicken, but I charge extra for that.
Oh, you have to pay her in the eggs
That's
that you
hilarious.
lay. Could she make you egg? Okay. Okay, we're gonna wrap this
Oh
up
my
because
God.
this is what the hell was in my coffee this morning. Okay.
You're funny
It's
today.
if you guys have feedback, we would love for you to follow the show. Make sure that you get all of our so whatever platform you're listening to us on is be sure to subscribe so that you get notified of our latest episodes. And we will see you guys in
Yes,
2
please.
weeks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Life Coaches Unfiltered. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or follow us on social media. Got a question you've been afraid to ask? Send it our way at lifecoachesunfiltered@gmail.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep questioning, and stay unfiltered.